Hi, today I'm going to show you how to hold a golf club the right way for beginners. My references are instructor Brad Turner, Director of Online Instruction at Keiser University College of Golf, and John Callahan, my instructor at Keiser University for Golf Swing Fundamentals. If you don't hold the golf club correctly, your swing is going to be much harder than it needs to be. The grip is the first thing that connects you to the club. And if you get it right, you're going to hit it straighter and more consistent shots. Many beginners struggle with the grip because they're not sure where to place their hands. Today I'm going to show you how an easy step-by-step method that will help you grip the club correctly every time. And to make it easier for you to remember the same perfect grip every time, after every shot, is to mark your gloves to use it right 100% of the time without taking the time to draw it on your hands each day. My name is Justin Pfeifferlich. I'm a golf coach from ages 3 on up, grandkids especially. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. One most important notable item I need you to remember from this video is that it is non-negotiable. The club must be more in the fingers than in the palm to get the proper hinge and releases. And we'll talk about that later. The circle on our gloves must be on the top of the grip. It's one of the first things we're going to show you. And as my friend Callahan says, a good golf swing starts with a good grip. Step 1 is about marking our gloves for easy positioning. To make sure your hands are in the right place, we're going to use a dry marker and put in a few marks on our gloves. These will act as guides so you can place your hands properly on the club. Now, optional. You can't just use the main glove that you want to wear for both or both gloves. It doesn't really matter. I like to use both for this demonstration. But example is a right-handed golfer. The glove goes on your left hand. I'm a right-handed golfer. So we're going to mark on that hand for sure with the glove. And then the right hand or the trail hand would be optional to use the glove, because most people don't use two gloves. So for right-handed golfer, I'm usually just wearing the left-hand glove, nothing on the right. But for training, I'm going to use both gloves. First thing we're going to do is going to relax your thumb against the side of your hand. And we're going to start with that lead hand. We're going to draw across from the left knuckle to the index finger like this. So there's that first knuckle, and there's the index finger coming down. And I'm just going to draw a line between that knuckle. It's hard. I'm actually left-handed, but I golf right-handed, so it's hard for me to draw that way. So just like that, 2 lines. Right across the knuckle, right into that index finger. Those are a little bit larger than I want, but I'll take them for today. All right, and then we're going to draw a line across, from the left knuckle, the finger, just like that. And when we're going to turn it over, and then about halfway in between the base of the pinky and the bottom of the pad, we're going to start at the wrist. We're going to draw a circle on the pad of our lead hand. Again, right-handed golfers, lead hand is our left hand. So we're just going to go about halfway in between there. I'm going to place a nice little circle there. Very important. This circle is very important. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is turn it over again. And at the end of the base of the thumb, on the point of the bottom knuckle, we're going to place an X to make sure it's right on the point. So the bottom of the knuckle right here, the same when we draw the line across on our thumb, that bottom knuckle that's down there. We're going to just draw a little X right down there. That was a big X. I drew a little X. So we'll just, hopefully you can see that good, and it exaggerates it well enough to see the size of whether it's an X or circle or just a line. Okay. And then we're going to put a circle on the big pad of our hand below the pinky finger. So we're going to put a circle on the big pad of your hand below the pinky finger. Alright, sorry about that. I had done the circle a couple times, read it a couple times. It's just the one circle down there. But now we're going to go to the trail hand, which for a right-handed golfer is the right hand. And so we're going to start with there. We're going to relax the thumb again and draw that line from that knuckle right across to that index finger. So if I take that knuckle and I just go a straight line across right there. That's going to do the same thing we did on the other side. So you can see we did the same thing on both sides for that one. Okay. And then we're going to turn the palm around on the right-handed trail hand. And in this case, you can kind of pinch this together right here. And we're going to put a little X right down here in between those. Got an X there. And then the final line is going to go along the side of our right index finger, so we're still on the trail hand. And we're going to just draw a line right up all the way down here. And I'm just going to put a little dot here to kind of finish everything off. Alright, so that takes care of the lines that we're going to have. Now step 2 is about placing your lead hand, again, the left hand for us right-handed golfers. All these lines, we're going to grab our club. And as a right-handed golfer, I'm going to start putting the circle of my lead left hand on the top of my grip. Right here. So this circle that I have is not going to go on the side or the bottom. It's going to go right on the top of that grip. Just like that. And this is the most important part. It helps you control the club better. And we all have very different size of hands, fat, thick, short, thin, whatever it might be. But we're all different, so this is how close we're going to try to do the best we can with it. Then we're going to wrap our fingers around the club. And again, it's the fingers, not the palm of my hand. So the circle's on the top, and I'm going to wrap the fingers around the club. I'm not going to put the palm on there like this, right? Circle, fingers, and I want them all kind of nice and tight together. Right there is what I want for all of those fingers. And remember, as I mentioned earlier, this is part that's non-negotiable, right? It must be in the fingers. The club must be in the fingers, not in the palm of the hand. Non-negotiable. Because we want to get that proper hinge and release to give us that extra timing and power that we need for the golf club for our golf swing. And the other thing is the circle must be on the top of the club. So those two things, circle on top of the club, it's kind of the first two things we're doing, right? And getting the fingers in there. Those first two little moves are the most important for sure and non-negotiable. And then here are a couple of checkpoints we can do. The lines with your knuckle and the lines across the index finger, they should be touching and not separated at all the best we can. So we're going to make sure that these lines right here, again, top, fingers, and that these lines are really close together and not separated, right? And right on the top of the club. And then your thumb and index finger should create a V, right? The thumb and index finger should create a V to my right, either ear or collarbone or shoulder. And that's where that right V should be pointing, where the other one will end up as well. Your thumb and index finger should create that V, like I said. The next thing we're going to do is place the trail hand on now. So the trail hand is our right hand for the right-handed golfer. We're going to match the X's marks on both the hands so they sit close together. So there's the X and there's the X. I'm going to put them almost right on top of each other. So we got the circle, the fingers, we got the V and the X right over the top of each other. So X smashes each other. And then you can decide, and then when your fingers wrap around the club, you're making sure that they are touching, right? So everything's kind of touching here, nice and tight, all of that right there. And then we can talk about the grip. Now today, the best grip for beginners is what we call an overlapping grip, right? With the pinky here is just overlapping the outside. The pinky of my trail hand is just sitting on the top side of that lead hand. Another one is interlocking, and that's okay. And then we have like a 10-finger or baseball grip, which is this way. We don't really want that one as our hands start to slide apart. It can really mess with the inconsistency of our swing. So interlock is what I'll use sometimes, but today we definitely, for beginners, we call what the Vardon grip is, or the interlock right there. And that's the grip we're going to use for today and for beginners. That's the best way to kind of start. It can maximize your power and stability for our beginner golfers. And then we're going to check the second V that we have and make sure it also points towards the right shoulder. So now I got this V. Is it pointing to the right shoulder, collarbone, ear, somewhere in there, right? Fingers over the top. Those lines are together. These lines here are together as close as possible. And we're here, and the X's are smashing each other. Now, with step 4, checking your grip, I can turn around. You can see that everything on the lines of the right shoulder hand is matching up, just like those on my lead hand were, right? Everything's matching up with that trail hand as well. You can also actually see the question mark, the line we drew straight down that index finger, and that dot kind of can make a question mark. So we want this grip finger here, that we call it, with that index finger kind of wrap around the club with a little bit of space there. And again, these two lines match up as well. So it's not straight down the line, it's not wrapped around the club, it's more making it look like a question mark up there. And then we got everything all together with the one grip. We want anything on the back of the shaft. We don't want anything kind of turned under or turned over with a stronger weight grip. We want to just keep it in the back of the shaft right there, again, all in the fingers. You should be able to see 2 or 3 knuckles down this right side. There's also another good checkpoint. And for that. And we're going to make sure the fingers are folding on the club, again, not in the palm. And you're going to keep your hands relaxed but firm. There's a lot of different ways people say it, but I think a great way is hold your grip the way you would hold a toothpaste tube without squeezing any toothpaste out. So it's a little bit lighter of a grip than some of you might be used to. We don't want to be squeezing the heck out of it. Loosen up that grip to either 4 out of 5 out of 10, or like holding a toothpaste tube without squeezing toothpaste out. So that's what the finished product should look like a little bit. They're both of those V's pointing to the right shoulder, right ear. And the pros, of course, have a very different looking grip than what we're used to. So, but this is what we want to show for beginners golfers. Some common mistakes and adjustments are holding the club too much in your palm. We've really talked about that a lot. The fix to that is to move the club into your fingers for better control. Another mistake is that thumbs and fingers are too far apart. You know, everything just kind of too far apart. You got all fingers kind of spread out maybe, you know, or even the hands or something spread out too far. So that's another mistake in the fix. For that, just adjust them slightly to keep them close together so they can work as one unit. You want that hand to work as one unit. Another mistake is the hands are too weak. They turn too much to the left, or it's too strong, or too much to the right, too weak. So we fix those by adjusting those V's, go to that right shoulder or ear. Many golfers grip the club wrong at first, and when they change it feels really weird. But that's what they might think of as their normal grip, the normal feel. The change should not feel painful. It should just feel different because you're not used to it. So after a few hundred swings, your hands will get used to it, and you'll wonder how you ever played golf with the old grip. As my Kaiser University instructor John Callahan says, a good golf swing starts with a good grip. If you don't grip the club correctly, you're making the game harder than it needs to be. Some final tips: practice every day, gripping with that new grip as much as you can, even without hitting a ball. Just go through your grip in your living room, sitting on your couch, watching TV, whatever it might be. Make sure the V shapes are both hands are pointing to your right shoulder. Keep your grip relaxed but firm. No death grips at all. So sometimes what I do is I'll just squeeze as hard as I can for as long as I can, and then I won't do a death grip anymore. My hands will be too tired. So another good way to get by with that. It will be different at first, but it'll soon feel natural. After you have watched the video a few times, make sure you're marking and your markings are all correct. Then you can use, instead of using the dry erase marker, you could use a permanent marker on there once you feel everything's lined up correctly. Just make sure it's right. And then just message me below if you need any help, or you want to get some pre-marked gloves, along with a quick reminder card. Or let me know if you have to let me know your brand, model, size, and which hand you want the gloves to go on. Kind of golfer you are, left or right-handed golfer, and which hand you want the gloves to go on. And then now you're ready to swing with confidence. If you'd like me to help you with anything else, like I said, just leave a comment below. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave that comment. See you next time.